Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we'll be going through the Geelong game versus GWS, and this one was actually a really good game. And although it was two teams that are really actually struggling at the moment to put together a decent enough performance, it sort of showed, in some of their play, but it was a really good game, and it sort of, I think, accentuates the downfall of Geelong and shows how teams can have a really easy fixture run to start and then just fall off. And I think that's what's happening to Geelong. I don't know who they play next week, but I know that they play the Swans coming out of the bye. Let me just quickly check who they play next week. They've got Richmond. They'll win. If they do not beat Richmond and then they lose to the Swans, they'll be out of the 8, I think, by then, because I think they'll be 8-6, and I don't think that'll be in the 8. They'll be 7-6. Sorry, not 8-6, 7-6. And 7-6 by then, they'll be out of the 8 as there are two teams behind them that have almost a better percentage. Well, not even a better percentage, just they'll have more chance. They have basically two chances to get wins, and if they do that, they'll be ahead of them. They'll be most likely out of the 8 by then. Even Western Bulldogs could overtake them in the race for the 8 by then. So if they don't win those, if they don't beat Richmond, I don't think they make finals, to be honest, as it really starts to show that I think they have a really tough run after that anyway, because they play the Swans in round 13, and then they play in round 14, they have their bye. Round 15, they play Carlton. Round 16, they play Essendon. That could be an interesting game to see who's actually up there, because if Geelong beat Essendon, then Essendon are probably going to be near enough out of the 8 by then. So those two, as well as GWS, are sort of on watch for being teams that start really well and then just fall off. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I actually do upload, if I do upload, as I did miss one day. But let's just jump into this video. Holmes 116, he's actually been really consistent, and I was just looking at him, and you'll see this in my video on Thursday, it'll be, of my, not trade targets, but the actual final team trades. As I do with the triple trades in fantasy, I do try and basically switch around 2 rookies to playing rookies, and then also upgrade one of my really poorly performing forwards and switch that around as well to a defender on a decent buy, I believe I am. Yeah, as I flick Fisher back into the forward line, and that's how I do it. Then you've got Tom. So Holmes was 116. I did look at him. I just don't want to touch any Geelong players at this point. Stewart 189. He got, I think, a 116 in Supercoach, but an 89 in fantasy, something like that. And yeah, he's just, sometimes when he turns it on, he turns it on. But an 681. He'll be interesting come next year, given that he will be priced, I'm guessing, around that 80 mark. Do you want to take a chance on Stewart in a bad team, most likely next year? Priced at 80, it'll be interesting to look at that. Let's just see what is his stats for this year. 81 fantasy points. I think you almost got to take a stab at him. 81 next year, so that'll be an interesting watch. Tui, Guthrie, Duncan seems washed, honestly, at this point, fantasy wise. An 84, averaging sort of around that same mark as Stewart, so that'll be an interesting watch with those two next year. Atkins 81, Stengel 81. Bruin, I think, is one that could also take that next step. I've been waiting for this for a couple of years after starting him last year, at the start of last year, like 440k in the forward line, and then having to quickly upgrade him almost to, I think, Golden, or did I start Golden? No, I think I did start Golden. I think it was straight to Cogs almost. Like, that was a move that I spotted like 2 weeks in. Blickards, Cameron, Conway, Hawkins, DeConing, Myers, Close, Clark. Clark got suspended for a bump. Awfully similar to the Luke Parker suspension. Just the difference was outcome. And that'll be questioned. And it's almost to a point now where the AFL and VFL have to start questioning themselves over what do they value as a suspension, because the misalignment is there. Both were textbook bumps, but then an accidental head clash. One caused bruising and one caused a broken jaw, and there's a 5-week gap in suspension. So Swans go to the appeals board tonight to see if they can get it downgraded. I think with both Clark and Blicavs being suspended, and I'm guessing that they will probably accept their charges, that there is a chance that Luke Parker gets it down to, I think they could get it down to 5, but they could also have a shot at 4. I think they will get it down to 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to 4. But we'll wait and see on that one. And if it stays at 6, it stays at 6. But if he gets it down to 4 with 1 already served, heading into the bye, then he has 13, 14, 15, and we'll be back for 16, I believe. I could be wrong about that. But if he gets back for 16, if I have it correctly with the that would be the AFL timeline, then that will be an interesting watch there, given his spot on the side. In the side, but we'll wait and see, because the Swans basically haven't had any injuries this year. I mean, they haven't had enough injuries. Like, other teams have had 4 or 5 guys go down in the same area, whereas Swans have sort of had 1 key defender go down, 1 forward go down, 1 midfielder go down. They haven't really had multiple guys in the same area go down, which I think is the big key with injuries. It's not just, you've had 1 injury or you've had 2 injuries. It's when you start to have 2 or 3 injuries in the same area, and the Swans really haven't had that, which I think has been lucky. But anyway, back onto this game, because I talked about the Swans for like 2 or 3 minutes there. Blicavs, Cameron Conway, Hawkins, De Koning, we talked about all these guys. Colin Jasny, Henry, Neal, Dempsey finally had a shocking game. Only took so long, as he finally didn't get off to a really good start in the game, and then had a good back end, good second half of 34, which would have been on track for his sort of like 70 odd that he usually gets, as it was a 34 times that by 2, 68, so similar, close to a 70. Finally had a bad game, so he's just sort of your prototypical high half forward, almost winger type guy that's going to have games of 40s, going to have games of 70s, 80s, 90s, so yeah, he's going to fluctuate massively, and this was a down fluctuation finally. Henry and then Mullen, the tagger. Taggers just don't score points. And then Bose came on for a 22. He's going to be well down in his points tally as well, but I wonder if he's ever going to get a full game consistently, as that could be interesting given that his points tally, I think, is around 70 now for the year. I think it's around 70. Let me just check this. Full profile, what's his average for the year? If it will show 70 points on the dot. That was a good guess. I don't think his value at 70 would need a couple of sub games. He could be value at 50 though, if they actually play him. And then we go over quickly to GWS, try and make this quick. Briggs, 1-2-1, no, just isn't in that upper echelon of ruckman. He isn't going to score this consistently. We've seen this before. Toby Green, 108. I did like that he got more midfield time, and that was because of Cornelio's shoulder injury. So that'll be a watch, as well as potentially, where is he? Peatling as well, you'll see in the second half, I believe, took it up a gear, if I'm right in saying that. No, he didn't. I thought that he would be the one that took it up because of the injury to Cornelio, but it wasn't really. I mean, he did take it up in that second quarter a little bit, but not to the extent that I thought. Angwin as well, another interesting case here with him going up a gear as well, but I don't know what role he was playing. Need to double check that. Himmelberg, 91. This is your prototypical sort of distributing defender, having a good game. I mean, he took 3 marks in the third quarter here. I think he ended up with around 8 marks or so, maybe 9 marks. And so that's why he got to the 91. Let me just double check that. He ended up with 11 marks. So yeah, he really just dined out in the kick mark scenario, those +6s. Tom Green, 91. Wasn't quite there this week, and is now, I think, in the 760s or something for price. I could be wrong though. So yeah, he will be a great get, but after the bye, to be honest with you, he could almost be included as just a 761k after the bye. He could almost just be an upgrade on one of your forwards or something like that. You could almost swap him and sort of Zorko, get him and Zorko in for like a midfielder, a rookie, a midfielder, and also a forward or something like that. You can do almost a Clayton Oliver, another forward, and a rookie to that sort of. You could do that, but we'll wait and see. I may do that with maybe a Cloese to Cloese, Oliver, and a forward, maybe a McRae, and hopefully that works. But we'll wait and see on that one. That'll happen next week maybe, but we'll see. Whitfield at 90, he got banged around. He was involved in both of the hits that caused the suspensions to Clark and Blickarv, so he copped it and still got a 29 in the last quarter to get to a 90. He's just he does this every single year without a shadow of a doubt that he scores well early and then has either an injury game or has just poor games, gets tagged, and yeah. So that's Lockie Whitfield every season. Haynes, Riccardi, Callahan, Perryman, Lecalier, Daniels, McMullen, a sub 65 was really good. A Supercoach trade in next week, I believe, for like a biggie new one, if you can have enough cash to get upgrades from that still. So yeah, he was really immense. Peatling, Adun, O'Halloran, Taylor, Weir, Hogan. Cornelio's going to drop massively in price now because of this shoulder injury. Will be interesting to see if he actually gets up and plays after the bye. I don't know what the injury report is that for him, but if I just go to Cornelio here, I just want to see what is his average. 85 fantasy point average for the year. So, I mean, he is in his 30s, I'm pretty sure. So, it's going to be hard. Yeah, 30 years old already will be hard to pick him next year, but 85 is on the watch there, given that is so much unders of what Cornelio can do. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there going through Geelong versus GWS. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the reviews, I guess, of the other... there'll be 4 games, but I may get through all 4 tomorrow. And then that'll give me sort of Wednesday to do sort of only 3 videos. And then Thursday will be 3 more as well. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow for those recaps. Bye, guys.